Hare Krishna. So, we'll be doing a quick review of Canto 4, Chapter 2. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. So we'll do this quick review until text 11. So text 1, translation. Vidura inquired, why was Daksha, who was so affectionate towards his daughters, envious of Lord Shiva, who is the best among the gentle? Why did he neglect his daughter Sati? Purport. In the second chapter of the fourth canto, the cause of the dissension between Lord Shiva and Daksha, which was due to a great sacrifice arranged by Daksha for the pacification of the entire universe, is explained. Lord Shiva is described here as the best of the gentle, not because he is not envious of anyone. He is equal to all living entities, and all other good qualities are present in his personality. The word Shiva means all auspicious. No one can be an enemy of Lord Shiva's, for he is so peaceful and renounced. Yet he does not even construct a house for his residence, but lives underneath a tree, always detached from all worldly things. The personality of Lord Shiva symbolizes the best of gentleness. Then why was Daksha, who offered his beloved daughter to such a gentle personality, inimical towards Lord Shiva so intensely that Sati, the daughter of Daksha and the wife of Lord Shiva, gave up her body? Text 2. Kastam charachara gurum nirvairam shanta vigraham atma ramam katham dveshti jagato daivatam mahat. Lord Shiva, the spiritual master of the entire universe, is free from enmity. He is a peaceful personality and is always satisfied in himself. He is the greatest among the demigods. How is it possible that Daksha could be inimical towards such an auspicious personality? Purport. Lord Shiva is described here as Charachara Guru, the spiritual master of all animate and inanimate objects. He is sometimes known as Bhutanath, which means the worshipable deity of the dull headed. Bhuta is also sometimes taken to indicate ghosts. Lord Shiva takes charge of reforming persons who are ghosts and demons, not to speak of others who are godly. Therefore, he is the spiritual master of everyone. Both the dull and demoniac, and the highly learned Vaishnavas. It is also stated Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. Shambhu, Lord Shiva, is the greatest of all Vaishnavas. On one hand, he is the worshipable object of the dull demons, and on other, he is the best of all Vaishnavas or devotees. And he has a sampradaya called the Rudra Sampradaya. Even if he is an enemy or is sometimes angry, such a personality cannot be the object of envy. So Vidura, in astonishment, asked why he was taken as such, especially by Daksha. Daksha is also not an ordinary person. He is a Prajapati in charge of fathering population, and all his daughters are highly elevated, especially Sati. The word Sati means the most chaste. Whenever there is consideration of chastity, Sati, the wife of Lord Shiva and the daughter of Daksha, is considered first. Vidura was therefore astonished. Daksha is such a great man, he thought, and is the father of Sati, and Lord Shiva is the spiritual master of everyone. How then could there possibly be so much enmity between them that Sati, the most chaste goddess, could give up her body because of the quarrel? Text 3, translation. My dear Maitreya, to, to part with one's life is very difficult. Would you kindly explain to me how such a son in law and father in law could quarrel so bitterly that the great goddess Sati could give up her life? Text 4, translation. The sage Maitreya said, in a former time, the leaders of the universal creation performed a great sacrifice in which all the great sages, philosophers, demigods, and fire gods assembled with their followers. Purport. Upon being asked by Vidura, the great sage Maitreya began to explain the cause of the misunderstanding between Lord Shiva and Daksha, because of which goddess Sati gave up her body. Thus begins the history of a great sacrifice performed by the leaders of the universal creation, namely Marichi, Daksha, and Vashishta. These great personalities arranged for a great sacrifice for which demigods like Indra and fire gods assembled with their followers. Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva were also present. Text 5. When Daksha, the leader of the Prajapatis, entered the assembly, his personal bodily lustre as bright as the effulgence of the sun. The entire assembly was illuminated, and all the assembled personalities became insignificant in his presence. Text 6. Influenced by his personal bodily lusters, all the fire gods and other participants in that great assembly, with the exception of Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, gave up their own sitting places and stood in respect for Daksha. Text 7. Daksha was adequately welcomed by the president of the great assembly, Lord Brahma, after offering Lord Daksha was adequately welcomed by the president of the great assembly, Lord Brahma. After offering Lord Brahma respect, Daksha, by the order of Brahma, properly took his seat. Text 8. Before taking his seat, however, Daksha was very much offended to see Lord Shiva sitting and not showing any respect. At that time, Daksha became greatly angry and his eyes glowing. He began to speak very strongly against Lord Shiva. Purport. Lord Shiva, being the son in law of Daksha, was expected to show his father in law respect by standing with others. But because Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are the principal demigods, their positions are greater than Daksha's. Daksha, however, could not tolerate this, and he took it as an insult by his son in law. Previously, also, he was not very much satisfied with Lord Shiva, for Lord Shiva looked very poor and was beggarly in dress. Text 9. All sages, brahmanas, and fire gods present, please hear with attention, for I speak about the manners of young persons. I do not speak out of ignorance or envy. Purport. When speaking against Lord Shiva, Daksha tried to pacify the assembly by presenting in a very tactful way that he was going to speak about the manners of gentle persons. Although naturally this might affect some unmannerly upstarts, and the assembly might be unhappy because they did not want even unmannerly persons to be offended. In other words, he was in complete knowledge that he was speaking against Lord Shiva, in spite of Shiva's spotless character. As far as envy is concerned, from the very beginning he was envious of Lord Shiva. Therefore, he could not distinguish his own particular envy. Although he spoke like a man in ignorance, he wanted to cover his statements by saying that he was not speaking for impudence or envious reasons. Text 10. Shiva has spoiled the name and fame of the governors of the universe and has polluted the path of gentle manners. Because he is shameless, he does not know how to act. Purport. Daksha wanted to impress upon the minds of all great sages assembled in that meeting that Shiva, being one of the demigods, had ruined the good reputations of all the demigods by his unmannerly behavior. The words used against Lord Shiva by Daksha can also be understood in a different way, in a good sense. For example, he stated that Yaksha Shiva is Yashogna, which means one who spoils name and fame. So, this can also be interpreted to mean that he was so famous that his fame killed all other fame. Again, Daksha used the word drip, driptrarapa, which also can be used in two senses. One sense is one who is stunned, and another sense is one who is the maintainer of persons who has no shelter. Generally, Lord Shiva is known as the Lord of the Bhutas or lower grade of living creatures. They take shelter of Lord Shiva because he is very kind to everyone and is very quickly satisfied. Therefore, he is called Ashutosh. To such men who cannot approach other demigods or Vishnu, Lord Shiva gives shelter. Therefore, the word Dripa, Nirapatrapa can be used in that sense. Text 11. Dhirashanta Mataji, welcome. Would you like to read?
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. Are we reading in in Sanskrit too, or just
Would you like to read, Dhirashanta Mataji?
yes, Mataji?
Okay. Text 11.
Are we going to
शीशमे शिष्यतां प्राप्तो
Hare Krishna,
यन्मे
Mataji? Can you hear me?
दुहितुरग्रहित पाणिनं विप्राग्नमुक्तः सावित्रेय इव साधुवत्.
Krishna,
Translation and purport of His
Mataji.
Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila
What
Prabhupada
happened
Ki
to my
Jai. He has already accepted himself as my
mute?
subordinate by marrying my daughter in the presence of fire and brahmanas. He has married my daughter, who is equal to Gayatri, and has pretended to be just like an honest person. Purport. Daksha's statement that Lord Shiva pretended to be an honest person means that Shiva was dishonest, because in spite of accepting the position of Daksha's son in law, he was not respectful to Daksha. Text 12. गृहीत्वा मृगसावक्षया
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
पाणिं मर्कटलोचन
Mataji, Hare Krishna.
प्रत्युत्थान अभिवार्त्रहे वाचापि आकृतनोचितम्. Translation. He has eyes like a monkey's, yet he has married my daughter, whose eyes are just like those of a deer cub. Nonetheless, he does not stand up to receive me, nor did he think it fit to welcome me with sweet words.
Hare Krishna
Pooja
Mataji.
Pamapoka, would you like to read?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Would you like to read text 13? I think you are muted. You have to unmute
Oh my
yourself.
God. I'm like, no, I did unmute too. And again, I think you couldn't hear me. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I hope I wasn't too loud. Okay, so I don't have a book with me. Let me go. How do I go to the year, Okay, I got it. You can hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, now text 13. I'm going to read.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to read text 13. Lupta kriyaya suchaye manine vinnase tave anichannapya dambalam sudrayevo satim giram. So translation. I had no desire to give up my daughter to this person who has broken all rules of civility because of not observing the required rules and regulation. He is impure, but I was obliged to hand over my daughter to him just as one teaches the messages of the Vedas to the Sudras. Purport. A Sudra is forbidden to take lessons from the Vedas because a Sudra, due to his unclean habits, is not worthy to hear such instructions. These restrictions that unless one has acquired the Brahminical qualifications, one should not read the Vedic literatures is like the restriction that a law student should not enter a law college unless he has been graduated from all lower grades. According to the estimation of Daksha, Shiva was unclean in habits and not worthy to have the hand of his daughter. Sati, who was so enlightened, beautiful, and chaste. The word used in this connection is Binna Setav, which refers to one who has broken all the regulations for good behavior by not following the Vedic principles. In other words, according to Daksha, the entire transaction transactions of the marriage of his daughter with Shiva was not in order. Text. Or you went a little bit further down, Mataji. I'm gonna
14 and 15 are together.
Yeah, I wanna read in Sanskrit one. Yeah. Pretavasesu ghoresu pretairbhutar nar tagar nairvarta. Yeah. Atas atatyunama tovannano vyutakeso hasanarudana Chita vasmakritasnana pretastrangnatrasti bhusana Shivapadeso Haya Shivo Matto Mattajana Priye Pati Praman Thanatnatham Tamo Tratma Katma Kat Katmanam. Translation. He lives in filthy places like criminatorisms, and his companions are the ghosts and demons, naked like a madman, sometimes laughing and sometimes crying. He smears criminatorium ashes all over his body. He does not bath regularly, and he ornaments his body with a garland of skulls and bones. Therefore, only in name is he Shiva or auspicious. Actually, he is the most mad and inauspicious creature. Thus, he is very dear to crazy big beings in the gross mode of ignorance, and he is their leader. Purport. Those Those who do not regularly bathe are supposed to be in association with ghosts and crazy creatures. Lord Shiva appeared to be like that, but his name Shiva is actually fitting, for he is very kind to persons who are in the darkness of the mode of ignorance, such as unclean drunkards who do not regularly bathe. Lord Shiva is so kind that he gives shelter to such creatures and gradually elevates them to spiritual consciousness. Although it is very difficult to raise such creatures to spiritual understanding, Lord Shiva takes charge of them, and therefore, as stated in the Vedas, Lord Shiva is all auspicious. Thus, by his association, even such fallen souls can be elevated. Sometimes it is seen that great personalities meet with fallen souls, not for any personal interest, but for the benefit of those souls. In the creation of the Lord, there are different kinds of living creatures. Some of them are in the mode of goodness, some Mataji, wait. Some are in the mode of passion and some are in the mode of ignorance. Lord Vishnu takes charges of persons who are advanced Krishna conscious Vaishnavas, and Lord Brahma takes charge of persons who are very much attached to material activities. But Lord Shiva is so kind that he takes charge of persons who are in gross ignorance and whose behavior is lower than that of the animals. Therefore, Lord Shiva is specially called auspicious. Hare Krishna is so beautiful, Mataji.
Yeah, very beautiful.
Yeah, it's
And Linda Mataji.
wow. I never knew this is all about.
Mm. So we
This
have
is all about Lord Shiva Mataji because I miss so all the other before chapters or texts. This is all about Shiva's this chapter.
actually until text 10,
Mm-hmm.
like it was explaining, like there was a discussion between Vidura and Maitreya,
Mm-hmm.
and Vidura had just told was just told by Maitreya Muni, that um, Sati had given up her body, and Sati was the daughter of Daksha, and she
Uh-huh.
was the wife of Lord Shiva.
Uh-huh.
So he was very astonished, because he said that Lord Shiva is a very gentle personality,
Uh-huh.
and Daksha is a Prajapati. He's a progenitor of father of mankind,
Uh-huh.
right? So
Uh-huh.
how can a daughter of Daksha, who was very, very dear to him, and
Uh-huh.
the wife of Lord Shiva who is also very dear to Lord Shiva, give up her body by jumping into fire. Like, how could she do such a thing? Because to give up one's body is a very difficult thing.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
How could she do such a thing,
Uh-huh.
which is very difficult for anybody to do?
Uh-huh.
So then he says it is because of it was because of the enviousness of Daksha towards Lord Shiva. He insulted Lord Shiva, and therefore
Why he is envious of Shiva?
that's what he is eager to know.
Oh, okay.
Why
Oh,
is
okay.
he envious of Shiva? Because Shiva is so gentle. Like,
Uh-huh.
nobody can be like Lord Shiva. But
I know. See, he is like, so gentle with even like, those ghosts and, those all fallen entities.
mm, so that was exactly his question. So Vidura is asking Maitreya, how could such a thing happen? So the narration starts from Vidura. He starts explaining that once there was a very great, very huge sacrificial performance. And in that great assembly of the sacrifice, all the demigods had come, including Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Indra, Agni, everybody had come.
Mm-hmm.
And in that assembly, Daksha walked into that assembly, and
Mm-hmm.
the effulgence of Daksha was so huge, like,
Mm-hmm.
that all the demigods, they felt small in front of Daksha's presence. He
Mm-hmm.
had such an effulgence. He was like very, um, very much attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and everybody, all of them, stood up and paid obeisances to Daksha as soon as he entered,
Mm-hmm.
except two people. The first person was Lord Brahma, and the
Mm-hmm.
second person was Lord Shiva.
Mm-hmm.
So when he noticed that actually everybody stood up except Lord Shiva, he took offense. Daksha
Uh-huh.
took offense. He
Uh-huh.
became angry at Lord Shiva.
Because he was a father-in-law, right?
Yes, he was the father-in-law.
Uh-huh.
So because of that, like, he felt that as a son-in-law, Lord Shiva should also get up and offer him obeisances.
Yeah, but I have a question. Maybe why they didn't get up?
So we will find out in as they start narrating.
Oh, okay. So okay. So okay.
Actually, Lord Brahma did not get up because Brahma is older to Daksha.
Okay. But Shiva has to get up, right? But
But Lord
we were.
Shiva,
Uh-huh.
like, although he is the son-in-law, but he is higher than Daksha because he's also a demigod.
Can I
Uh,
say something? Yeah, because Brahma is actually
Oh, Hare
the
Krishna, Ruchi Mataji, welcome.
sorry,
It was
yes,
you. I thought it
yes.
was. I thought it was Linda Mataji, so I was calling you as Linda
No,
Mataji.
I joined late, like 10, 15 minutes ago. But Brahma was actually the great grandfather of Daksha, grandfather of Daksha. So Daksha came in the lineage of Brahma. So he didn't have to get up, and Shiva, I think, didn't get up because he is way above these. He did not believe in um according to me, I think what I think is he did not believe in any of these formal social gatherings and the customs of the society because he was always absorbed uh, in a trance. He was always like in the higher realms meditating even when he was somewhere else. So he did not believe in like all uh, these societal um what you call and he is like the guru of like we just read he is the guru of all beings. So if he is the guru of all beings he would have incurred sin if he would have actually, I mean, Daksha would have incurred sin if he would have actually gotten up, because if he's the spiritual master of all beings, then if he gets up for his disciple, it's going to be an offense. So he's way above all these. So
Yes, yes. Very true, Ruchi Mataji. Actually, Lord Shiva has a very, very high position. So he does not need to, he need not get up. Although the Dakshinas
Yeah, but I have a question. When we are reading, like, Krishna book,
Mhm,
like, how Krishna is, like, welcoming his friend Sudama, he was, like, washing his feet, right?
mhm.
And I think, I don't know, a couple of others too. And the Krishna is doing all that. And similarly, so don't you think, I'm just, this is maybe, naive question. So think Shiva, I know Shiva is, like, in position wise, Shiva is higher, but since, he was a uh, son-in-law, he was a son-in-law, no, son-in-law, yeah, son-in-law of Daksha, right? So
Mhm.
don't you think he has to pay the respect to, to teach us, like Krishna, did all that?
Uh, Actually, I would like to agree with Ruchi Mataji's answer, where she
Uh-huh.
said that actually Lord Shiva was meditating.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Although
in
he
what,
was
in
in,
that time? In that
although he
time?
was in an assembly,
Oh,
still
he
his
was
whole
meditating?
still his whole focus was on his meditation.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Okay, but at the
Uh-huh, okay.
same time, like we should also understand Lord Shiva is a simple man. Krishna is very tricky. He can do anything at any time.
I know, he's very tricky. Oh my God. He's so tricky, Mataji.
Mm.
so even if he is the son-in-law, he is
I
the
know. Now, now I got you, because I didn't
he
know
is the
he was
unborn.
meditating.
He doesn't have a father or a mother. He is one of the three gods, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. So actually, he is at par, or sometimes at par with Brahma. So it par with Brahma means Brahma pays obeisances to him, and vice versa. So how can he? And he comes in the category of the super soul. So if he is the super soul, the super soul will not pay obeisances to his creation.
Who you
Actually,
talking about, Krishna?
Lord Shiva's
Shiva, Lord Shiva,
Lord
Lord Shiva
Shiva's
also
position is
comes in the
higher
cat.
than Lord Brahma's.
Sorry.
Lord Shiva's position is actually higher than Lord Brahma's position.
Yes, and also he is in the category of the super soul. Like he has the super soul in him. We read in the Bhagavatam before also that he is the super soul. Two times it was written. Even like before this, we read that he is the when he asked about the meditating about to see God, then he could see Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. So if he is the super soul, then the super soul will not get up and pay obeisances to his own creation, because he actually he is the biological father also of all living entities.
Yes, I agree with the second part. About the super soul, I will have to see in what context it is written. Because the general
Rem-
understanding is that, Paramatma is a plenary portion of, like,
Krishna.
yeah, Krishna. So I'll
but
have to see.
remember,
I'm sure, like, in Bhagavatam, there are several references. We will have to go back and.
yeah, we had read, if you just, I think if you type on Google or something, I remember very well we had read, and then I had asked that question, that how come he is called, somebody had said how come he is the super soul, because we consider super soul as Krishna. But even Linda Mataji, when she
Uh,
asked Chandramouli Maharaj, he
Mhm.
said the same
but
thing, that
Mataji, I would like to say something about the Google search. We don't know, who wrote it. So we have to
No,
go
no, in the
like an
Google you can
authorized
find out
guru.
the no,
So
no, in Google you can find out the exact verse in Bhagavatam which says that Shiva is the super soul or the Paramatma in everyone's heart. You can. I'm not telling you that Google will answer this. No, Google will tell you where to find that verse in Bhagavatam. That's what I'm saying.
but I don't know, but when I when I read like Prabhupada's, I don't know, maybe Leela Manjari Mataji, knew about it, but I never knew about like, Shiva is super soul. I always hearing like,
See, again, we
if
have to see things in context. That's what I feel. Because,
mm-hmm,
see, even Sukadev Goswami was called
uh-huh,
a super soul in one of the verses. So it does not mean that actually Sukadev Goswami is sitting in everybody's heart as super soul. What it means is that when a person is highly spiritually qualified,
uh-huh,
he can easily know the hearts of people.
yes, that's
So,
true.
so we
Uh-huh,
have to go back to that particular verse where it is spoken,
uh-huh,
and also read the purport that is given by Prabhupada. Because for Sukadev Goswami, that is the purport that is given, that because he was highly spiritually qualified, he understood what was in people's hearts. That's why he is called as the super soul. Sukadev Goswami is also called like that. So, what to speak of Lord Shiva? Lord Shiva is like, as Ruchi Mataji is pointing out, he is highly elevated personality. Like, for such a personality to understand someone's heart must be very easy. But now again, we should go back to that verse where it is written like that and find out like what exactly is the context of that verse.
and like you said we should go and find out, and plus we should go to the authorized person who can explain, you know what I mean,
Yes, yes,
why it says that.
yes,
So
yes.
here it says, revealed scriptures explain that Krishna has 64 qualities. Lord Brahma possesses 70%, 78% of these qualities, of what the qualities of Krishna are. And Lord Shiva possesses 84% of these qualities. So
Yes,
he is way above Brahma. So
yes.
then, yeah.
And Govardhan Leela Mataji was asking, like, I don't know. So because I told you, so I wasn't in the, I wasn't joining the class, so I don't know.
Mhm.
Is that true? Uh, is it Balaram, or I don't know, maybe Shiva she was talking about. So I think Lord Shiva is higher than Balaram. In maybe Leela Manjari Mataji knew about it.
I
Is
don't
that
know. I'll have to go back to and listen to Govardhan Lila Mataji's class. Yesterday, I missed her class.
Yeah, she said
but
that
Brahma,
Balram
but
is,
Shiva, like you said, but Shiva is higher than Brahma, right?
Yeah,
The
yes.
Brahmas, like Adi Shiva is called Adi Shiva,
I don't
and
know.
yeah, Adi. I think Adi Shiva is like he is the original Shiva, and the Shivas are like in every planet there is a Shiva, right?
Mm.
In every planet. I don't know. I'm also I this is my first time hearing too, so I don't know that much. So I'm just confused, little confused.
Mm. Okay, so let's read Prabhupada's
But
translation of the purport.
anyway, so Lord Shiva is so kind, so kind. He's so kind.
We should all take shelter of Lord Shiva.
Oh my God, he's amazing. See, he's even giving shelter to those all the bhut pisata, and so he wants them to bring up in Krishna consciousness,
Mm.
higher conscious. He
Mm.
is so
you
amazing.
you should know better because you come from Nepal. In Nepal, the primary deity is Pashupatinath.
I
Nobody is
know,
worshipped.
right?
Nobody
I
is
know.
worshipped, Vishnu or Brahma. Only Shiva is worshipped.
Yeah, in Nepal, we not, our main deity is Bhagwan is Shiva. Yeah.
It also says here in Bhagavatam that a human being can ultimately take the post of Brahma, but nobody can take the post of Shiva.
Yes.
Yeah, so I can imagine, because who wants to associate with those bhuta and pisachas, those all the
No, it's not that they want to, they can't, because they cannot possess those extra special qualities that Shiva has, like 70,
Okay, sorry,
yeah,
okay.
not in that sense.
But anyway, so I didn't
No.
know that all. I was, but see, I didn't know Shiva's Mahima. I never read about Shiva's Mahima, so all we know, he's Ashutosh. He can give us the all kind of boom. So that's all we know back then. Like Leela Manjari Mataji said, we all need to take a shelter of him and ask for the highest
You
pure love
you
for
need not
Krishna.
take shelter of him, Mataji. I am in mode of ignorance. I definitely need to take shelter of Lord Shiva because he'll be very merciful upon people in the mode of ignorance.
Stop saying that, Leela. Stop. So then let's go to Nepal.
Okay, let's go.
We
Please,
all
I,
go
I
to.
will definitely accompany you, even if I am half dead, I will accompany you.
We
I
all
always
gonna go
wanted to
to
go.
Nepal, Mataji. Let's go.
Yes, even my mother-in-law wants to go to see Pashupatinath.
Really? Okay, let's go then. Let's go.
Yeah.
How old she is?
60?
Okay, so that's the perfect age. Let's go then.
I
Mm.
have heard that anybody who takes darshan of Pashupatinath in his temple, he is freed forever from ever being born in as an animal. He frees the only higher realms one would go, and would not one would, no matter how what offense he commits, he will not be born as a get birth as a goblin or as a animal, but he will Lord Shiva will give him a higher birth.
See, because see, when I was in Nepal, I didn't know anything about. We just go to Shiva temple, Pashupatinath, do darshan, and do parikrama and come home.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know, so now maybe I'm gonna when I go, I'm gonna have more like what is that called? Respect, all that. So
Mm. We always have to hear from proper authorities about the of a
yes,
person. Otherwise, we will just go and because everybody is going, I also go and I also
yeah,
do
it's the same
something. But
thing.
our firm faith will come from hearing properly from scriptures and
Yeah.
from saintly persons.
So that's what I'm saying. So I have
Anyways,
more now, more like
can
love
I
for
ask,
him now.
Leela Manjari, do you have OCI to travel to India?
Okay, before we go to actual Pashupatinath in Nepal, let us discuss a little bit
No,
about.
I'm just asking for some other reason. For some other reason, I'm asking. Do you have
Okay,
OCI?
we will discuss it, Ruchi Mataji. Now let's just discuss 11 through 15 because it's very
Oh my
short.
God. It's so beautiful, Mataji.
Mm.
You need to explain all this. I love this. Oh
No,
my
but
God.
also we are running out of time. We have only like 10 minutes before we need to end.
Okay, okay.
Let's quickly do a recap of
Okay.
beautiful purports and translations by Prabhupada. And then we'll definitely we'll make a trip to Pashupatinath in Nepal. All three of us, okay?
No, all of us, all our, this Bhagavatam class friends,
Yes,
not
yes,
the three of us.
yes. Even my mother-in-law, okay?
Your mother-in-law, your sister, Govardhan Leela Mataji,
Yes, yes,
Manasi Ganga Mataji. We all gonna go.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so we have only 10 minutes, 12 minutes before 6 o'clock. So the most amazing part when I read this four translations and purports is that it doesn't matter how elevated we are, because we are in the material world, envy is part of our existence. And
Mhm.
when we criticize anybody, we should know that it is that from that envy that we are finding fault with someone.
Mhm.
In
Mhm.
Shiva's case, he was spotless. He did
Mm.
not have any fault. But now, in some other conditioned souls' case, they may have faults. But still, when we criticize somebody, it is
Mm-hmm.
because of our own envy that we criticize some.
Mm-hmm.
And here, Lord Shiva is actually a highly elevated soul, but Daksha is expecting respect from Lord Shiva because he is his father in law. And he is strongly criticizing Lord Shiva by saying, like, his eyes are like my monkey, and my daughter's eyes are just like a deer cub.
Oh
Uh,
my God.
yeah, read this.
Oh
This
my
is
God.
text 12.
That's what Daksha said?
Yeah, see in your phone. I'm showing you.
Okay, okay, I was just closing
So
my
he,
eyes.
he is
He's
not
okay.
even,
He has eyes like a monkey. Oh my God.
yeah. So actually, we do these kind of things to other people and
Oh
others
my God.
because of envy in our heart.
Mm.
Okay.
Mataji, is that the anger or is that the envy?
I mean, both go hand in hand.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. But it's not anger, it is more envy than anger when we are fault finding.
Okay, if I say something about you, so that means I'm envy of you.
Like fault finding is
Yeah,
bringing
fault finding. Yeah.
quality of envy in our heart.
No, what about like DT dressing? Like remember last time we talk about DT dressing? Oh, she should put this, he should put like this. The turban is not good. Maybe whatever. Whatever. Is that also envy or what?
Yes. Yes.
Really?
Yes. Like any fault finding with any person is envy.
Mataji, even like okay, so I don't even know like some like if I see the deities in the like temple like some other temple and I don't even know who is dressing, so still that I have
See,
envy of that towards that person
if
like
we are really doing it in a mode of service, yeah,
uh-huh.
that I really want to please Krishna, and like I
Mm-hmm.
really want to learn. That's a
Mm-hmm.
whole different platform. But most of the time, like
Mm-hmm.
it is not done with such a strong intention.
No, sometime in my house also when I like doing dressing my Nita Indadvara Gauranga and Sankalp does I get mad at him. I don't want way he dressed them up. I don't like it. Is that envy still?
That we should know, like within our heart.
I I think that is also maybe that is also everything has to be on my way. You know, I think that is the maybe intention. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
maybe like but we will feel it in our heart, like whatever
Mm,
is the
but for like I want my kids to do the best, right? But I don't know how that if I tell him something like that, how that's gonna consider envy.
if it is done with an intention to help somebody and like like
Uh
to
huh.
really like do it in a mode of service, but then like is it really at that level?
Okay, so we will discuss this about some other time. So you go ahead with this. Oh my god, this is so so hilarious. Like Daksha was calling his eyes like monkey. Oh my
Hmm.
god.
Hmm. So basically he was criticizing Lord Shiva. Although he was
Mm-hmm.
a great personality, he was looking at the external behavior of Lord Shiva, and he was strongly criticizing him by saying that he is breaking all rules of civility, he is impure, he is.
Mm-hmm.
I was obliged to hand over my daughter to him in marriage, but it is like teaching message of Vedas to a Shudra. So
But
he is actually very very strong in
Mataji,
criticizing.
Mataji, but Daksha knows, no, Daksha knew about, Lord Shiva's position or no?
It doesn't seem as if he knows.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. He's highly elevated personality, but in spite of that, like he's not able to recognize the greatness of.
Mm, okay. Like Prabhupada says, because maybe he is jealous, like, envious of him. So that's why he could not recognize.
Mm. Mm. So he's also saying that, Prabhupada is also saying
Mm-hmm.
that, he does not feel that, the marriage between his daughter and Lord Shiva was a fit match.
Mm.
Mm. And then again, he's looking at all the external behaviors of Lord Shiva.
Mm-hmm.
He lives in a filthy place like the crematorium.
Mm-hmm.
His
Yeah.
companions are ghosts and demons. He's naked like
Mm-hmm.
a madman, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
laughing and sometimes crying. He
Mm-hmm.
smears ashes all over his body. He does not bathe
Mm-hmm.
regularly. His ornaments are a skull and bones. And
Mm-hmm.
he is Shiva only in name, but he is actually mad and inauspicious creature. He is very dear to crazy beings who are in the mode of ignorance, and he is their leader. So these are all things out, like, which are external, which Daksha is pointing out to criticize Lord Shiva. But Prabhupada in the purport, he's explaining again and again that actually Lord Shiva is very, very kind, very, very, very kind.
Yes, he is very kind. I didn't even know that, Mataji. Oh my God, I just knew today.
Hmm. Hmm.
I was also thinking like it's Daksha. I don't know why Lord Shiva wears all this, garland, like, skulls garland, and why
Hmm.
he wears all that, smear the ashes on his body from the cremated, place. Like, I'm also thinking in that way.
Hmm.
But so since I read today, like, how much he has compassionate for those souls.
Hmm.
And like, in the verse it says, it's not easy to, bring them to up, it's not easy to uplift their, soul,
Hmm. Hmm.
I was, when I was reading this, I was thinking about Prabhupada.
Yes,
And the
exactly. I
Prabhupada
was also
also,
thinking about Prabhupada. Hmm.
and Prabhupada also came, over here, and in the same way. So, those all the, souls, like, like Prabhupada says in, like, Veda says not to do four stuff, and they indulge in four stuff.
Hmm.
And see, it's not easy. That's why I love Prabhupada. Oh my God. So how, he was doing without judgment,
Hmm.
and he was just pouring the, unconditional love for them. He's
Hmm.
70 years old, Mataji. Can you believe? And
Hmm.
you can see Lord Shiva also did the same, he did this. I mean, he's still doing, so he's still doing Lord Shiva.
Hmm. Hmm.
This is so nice, Mataji. I love this.
Hmm.
I love Shiva now. I have so much love for him now. Like you said, let's take a shelter of Shiva. So
Hmm. Hmm.
we all gonna go to Nepal now with
Yes.
great love for him. I didn't even know.
Hmm.
Thank you, Mataji. I'm so glad today I joined.
Hmm. Yeah, thanks to Srila Prabhupada, we can see things more clearly
I
instead of
know.
seeing them in such a, like, mode of ignorance way where we don't understand anything and just speculate. So,
Yeah, we should, more compassionate those souls
mm, mm,
who in Bhuta Pisata, and is suffering, they are suffering.
mm,
I was just listening yesterday one guru's lecture
mm,
about those, Bhuta Pisachas. And you also maybe know about, before, like, big Raja kings, so they have like big um palace. And I
mm,
don't know how many bad stuff happens there. Maybe they kill, right? And they they close the door, one door over there. They just catch those soul and put it in there, right? And somebody's open the doors and those souls come out. And that Maharaj said, and he was just new, and he never gave a lecture. And so somebody asked him to go that place and give a lecture, and he was saying, I never gave the lecture. And so some big gurus, they were like, oh no, my blessing is with you, you just go. And he went there, and Mataji, he said he saw all those ghosts. And so the one business person's son killed by those ghosts, and that son also went to became a ghost, right? And he saw that son also. And that guru told that that man, so you have a son like this type of. And that man got really surprised, and how did you know? And that Maharaj said, because I saw him. And he said, that person said, yes, so they killed my son. Ghost kill him, and took with them. But after hearing the Hari Katha, they all became free. That Guru said. See, and the Shiva is also
Who is he?
that Guru. I think he is from Vrindavan. I forgot his name. He has a really it's like Mahadev's like his jata. He has all the big. Maybe I can send it to you that if I find it again. He's I don't know what's his name. Okay, maybe wait. Maybe I have here. Wait. Okay, so I don't want to just you can go ahead, say I'm gonna look if you
So
want.
we should end now. It's almost 6 o'clock. But basically, like, this is a very nice chapter about the glories of Lord Shiva. Although Daksha is externally criticizing, throughout the purports of Prabhupada, we will find a lot of glorification of Lord Shiva and who he is.
Are we going? That's all, or we have more about Shiva?
No, that's all. That's all. We were supposed to read from 11 through 15, so we read.
No, is there any more about Shiva we're gonna read, or?
I'm sure, like, as he starts speaking more about Lord Shiva, we will hear more about Lord Shiva. I did not read ahead of this, but I'm sure it's there. Okay, Hirashanta Mataji, can we end here for today?
You asked Ruchi Mataji.
Ruchi Mataji left about 10 minutes ago. Only two of us are there.
Oh, she left?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, Mataji, thank you so much for reading, and thank you so much for letting me read, and thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Hirashanta.
Thank you. It's really good to see you and your beautiful sister. Thank you.
It's nice to see you also, Hirashanta Mataji.
I know. So after a year we danced.
Yeah.
I missed the kirtan, all that. Oh my God. Okay, stay safe, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah,
say Hare Krishna to Prabhu.
Obeisances to your family also.
Yeah, thank you. Same. Okay, and Mataji, we really should go to Pasupatinath to have his darshan. Okay.
Yes.
Like you say, your mother-in-law wants to go. She would be so happy if you take her.
Yes, she really wants to go. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, I mentioned to you, right? I'm not far from, Pasupati temple.
Sure. Of course, we'll go.
Okay.
Okay, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Ki jai. Bhagavatam ki
jai.
jai. Okay.